Hey lovely humans, and welcome back for another video. So this week I'm going to a wedding. So I'm actually a bridesmaid at a wedding, which is very exciting, but I am tanning. So I thought I would do a little like kind of tan review sort of slash tan routine. I am very new to tanning. I'm not a big tanner. I never have been. In fact, I've been fairly anti-tan for quite a long time, but now that like it's been 2 years since I've been in like real sunshine, I'm kind of like, I need that tan in my life. I'm just so pale, like it's just so sad. I've tried 2 other tans apart from this one and they've been all right, but not maybe amazing. This one I have tried before. This is not like my first time trying it, but this is, I feel like I've had like my few kind of first times, and this is like the proper first one. Like I've done it twice before. The first time was obviously like literally the first time, and then the second time it didn't go very well because I didn't really wash off the second one the first time very well, so it just wasn't a good situation. So this I feel like is the proper like clean slate. I'm kind of most prepared for it. I kind of know how it works by now, and so this is going to be the best one, I think. Let me show you what the tan is. So it is the Luxe Wonder Oil. So you can see like that's kind of been 2 uses. To be fair, it is quite an expensive tan. And I think it works well maybe for someone if you're kind of more of like an occasion tanner like myself. I'm not someone who tans every single week. It's just not, I just don't have the time. And like I genuinely don't know how people have the time for it. This is like the light to medium one. There is a dark, like a darker medium to dark. I personally prefer like much more natural tan, something that kind of looks real, and so I would always tend to go for a lighter color just because I feel like it's easier to make that look natural. But yeah, let me chat you through like my kind of preparation process. I feel like personally, just from my experience of the couple of times I've tanned, I feel like the preparation process is actually one of the most important parts, because myself, I have fairly dry skin, especially like my body, because I'm just not very good at moisturizing. I literally just never moisturize my body. It's terrible. I know it's terrible, but I just don't. I'm lazy and I just don't do it. So I do feel like the whole process is very important to prepare your skin for the tan. So I always start with exfoliating. Exfoliator wise, I use kind of a mixture of 2 different things. So I use this, which is kind of like a natural like kind of roll brush kind of thing, like it's on the wooden back, and often you'll find ones like these that are kind of on a wooden back and they're just perfect. This one's actually literally wet because it's in the shower, but this is great. Such a good exfoliator, like quite like rough, but like kind of like nice rough, if that makes sense. Yesterday morning I had a shower and I exfoliated with this to start with, and then yesterday evening I had a bath and I used one of these gloves. So I have a set of gloves that there's like 3 different like exfoliating strengths. I think that's what they call it, and I think this one's the harshest one, which I tend to use because I feel like the weakest one is like super weak. So in the bath yesterday I just kind of gave it another scrub. This is a little bit, I don't think it's as harsh as the brushes, but I just gave it another kind of scrub, and then I moisturized last night. So I literally like, I really do a lot just so I'm sure they're prepared. I think especially because I'm doing it for a wedding, I really wanted to look really good, and so I'm really making sure my skin's definitely ready for it, if that makes sense. So then this morning I had a shower and did another gentle exfoliation, not anything crazy. I think it was also just with a glove today, so it wasn't anything mad. And I also shaved this morning, and then this evening I actually had another shower just because I'd just been to the gym and I was like, I do not want to tan on sweaty skin. So I had another shower, which I actually wasn't planning to do. I wasn't gonna have literally like ridiculous amount of showers in 2 days, but and then I just gave another kind of wee go with the brush and just kind of did like my elbows and dry parts, and then I moisturized afterwards just on my dry bits. So like my elbows and like these parts. I find this part is like one part that really like gets skin, and gets tan, like kind of just sticks on it, and I don't know why. And then like my knees and my ankles, neck, those kind of areas. And so that's kind of my preparation thing. I just make sure I'm like super exfoliated, super moisturized, because I'm so lazy the rest of the time. So I really need to like super prepare. Because I feel like if you're someone who maybe moisturizes a lot and exfoliates a lot and stuff, you probably really don't need to do very much. But because I'm lazy, I like to super extra go for it. I have obviously taken all my makeup off my face because I'm going to face tan as well. I'm going to face tan with the Super Glow by Luxe Hyaluronic Self Tan Serum. So this is quite like super, it's not super tanny, if that makes sense. Like you don't go like completely different color, you kind of change slightly, but it's kind of more of a glow, and it's not like super strong color wise, if that makes sense. So it's definitely one you probably could put on nearly every day, and it would kind of keep like that gradual kind of color on, but super nice. It's obviously super good for your skin because it's like hyaluronic acid, so it's like I feel like it feels good for your skin and you're doing something great. So it's kind of a win like that. That's kind of my preparation process, and then I literally just get into it. So I have St. Tropez glove, which I actually, last time I did it, I didn't use a glove at all because I found the oil really kind of soaks into the glove, and then it almost feels like you're kind of wasting all the oil. So I do tend to use the glove, but kind of only for certain places. I do use my hands at times, which I know is not great because I do feel like sometimes it means my hands are a little bit more kind of orange the next day. Well, not orange, but they look a bit tanned, so it's not really ideal. So I might use the glove a little bit more today just so I don't go as tanned on my hands, because I really hate that. But obviously usually when I'm tanning, I would tan without any clothes on. Like, the easiest way to tan is literally like fully butt naked. But you know, we gotta do what we gotta do. That's not gonna happen. So the only thing I'd say about this is it is a little bit messy. So this has like a roller on it, if you can see that. It's like a roller, kind of like deodorant, like a liquidy like deodorant. Which is actually it's really random, but it's actually quite handy. It just makes the process a little bit easy, but it does get a little bit messy because I find it kind of runs down the jar a little bit. But basically, like, how I do it is I just literally like roll it on. I feel like if you can see that, I'm trying to see if you can see that like on my skin. Oh, there you can see it there. Do you see it's like literally just like full on oil. So I usually start with my arms because I feel like they're kind of the handiest, and I usually don't do my hands at the beginning, just because I find that my hands are just a little bit more awkward and you just want to. So I usually kind of cover it and then go with the glove and just like rub it all in. It actually smells really nice at the beginning. Really love the smell of it. It does change to tan smell though, to be honest. Like it is, I feel like it's like, I'm not sure if it's possible to actually have a not tan smelling tan. I think they've been able to do it like for the at the beginning, but I think they always change to the smell of tan regardless, because I have the St. Tropez one as well that is again the same. At the beginning it smells super nice, and then it just changes, like it just eventually changes to the smell of tan. I just don't really think there's much you can do about it. Like, right, so then let me do my other arm. So again, I kind of like, I think it's like one of those ones like the more the better, to be honest. Like, it's kind of like if you have enough, then you're not gonna like miss a patch because it's just like enough on your arm. So I always do the inside as well and do everywhere, and then go in with the glove and just really just rub it in. That's always super attractive, showing you my armpits. But yeah, it's just all about that, all about the rub in. To be fair, I never have issues on my arms. I feel like my arms, I've literally never got streaky arms. I feel like arms tend to be like an easy one. Maybe just my arms aren't that dry or something, but my arms tend to always be fine. But yeah, so just kind of rub that in. The lovely thing about this oil is it just leaves you like so moisturized, and just like, it just feels like your skin feels so good. Okay, so now I've done my arms, I'm gonna go into my chest. I would love any tanning tips you guys have, because to be honest, I'm in no way a tanning expert. So I would love to know like any tips or tricks that you guys have that you love, that works for you. So you can see when I'm putting it on, like it's like super, like it's full on oil. Works in really easily. I will, like, once I'm off camera, I've kind of showed you the general part, I will for sure take this off. Like I literally will just do my entire body. A little bit at the back of the neck. Obviously when it's oil, it is a bit awkward with the hair because it is oil, so it's literally just gonna make your hair oily. But so yeah, that's kind of that then. So really just kind of, I feel like that like in some ways there's not really like a trick to it. It's very much just like making sure you really like rub it in and like everywhere, and like even just over rub it. Like it's never going to be too buffed out, I always feel. So I never directly put any under my arm, but I will always kind of like buff around my arm a lot and like make sure I really kind of rub that part a lot, especially the front. I don't know, there's something just about this area here that just really, it really just sticks to for some reason. Now I'm just gonna go on to like my butt, my stomach, my legs and stuff. So I might just bring the camera down a bit so you can see. So again, it's just the same kind of process. Like it's a really kind of rando feeling because it's really you're just fully just lathering yourself in oil. So I find afterwards it is quite oily feeling, so because it's an oil, I feel it doesn't necessarily soak in super fast. I do think it soaks in a bit faster because it's when I use the mitt, because it definitely kind of takes a little bit off and it kind of goes more into the mitt maybe slightly. I do find like it's not too bad in regards to sheets or clothes or anything. Obviously it's maybe ridiculous that I'm wearing a white bikini doing this, but it was the one I was the most comfortable in, so I was like, we'll go for that. Okay, so that's tummy done. Again, literally just rubbing. I never have any issues with tummy, like it never goes to my belly button weirdly or anything. I find sometimes I get like a line like under my boobs. I don't know, it's just kind of one of those random places for some reason, and it just kind of collects in a bit. But yeah. So I very much do like section by section. So I do like the top of my leg, then the bottom of my leg, and like I wouldn't do like the entire leg at one time, partially just because like it's nice to be able to kind of rub it in as kind of soon as possible, I suppose. And I would never directly put any onto my knees or my ankles. I tend to first rub it into the like the leg, the calf area, and then I kind of rub it up, like kind of quite like a swipe, just with any excess, and the same on the foot. I tend to just kind of rub it down just from the stuff that's on the glove, and tend to try buff that as much as I can, especially on the foot. Like the foot is just like the worst for it. I find on myself, like I don't find it too hard with the hands or anything, but the feet just seem to be like the problem area. Right, so I'm just gonna do my other leg, and then I'll come up and show you how I do like my hands in that area. Okay, so I've done my legs on my front half. My back, I know that you can get like back mitts and stuff, which is very handy, especially if you're tanning like by yourself, but I usually would actually just get Darren to do my back for me because it's just kind of handier, and I kind of know, well, I don't fully know if he's not going to miss a spot. But also a lot of the time the back, I feel like often I really like, my back's not out that much, so often actually getting the back perfect isn't really too much of a thing. And also I find that my tan is just always quite nice on my back regardless of what I do, even if it's only a little bit. I feel like overall my back just seems to be slightly more tan than my front, just naturally anyway. But yeah, let me show you how I do my hands. So I haven't really put per se any tan on them yet, but I tend to kind of just go on them just like just with what's on the brush already, the mitt, and then I'll kind of go and I'll scrunch them like this just to get into the kind of knuckle area, just so they don't have obvious white. But yeah, I kind of don't per se tan them, and then this part I'll kind of give this part a bit of a scrub, but I don't per se put anything extra on them. I will just mainly kind of scrub them like so. And I'm pretty sure I've basically not got any on my palm there. I will really carefully wash my hands after, and then try not to wash the top off, but to kind of get any that I could have got onto my palms off. Yeah, and then I might like kind of just go over, obviously Darren's going to still do my back, but I'll basically just go over again and kind of just give everywhere like a little rub. Yeah, I think the main thing is literally just like getting that like enough on, I think that's really important, because I think sometimes before I would have just been like, I'll just put a little bit, but then I think when you have too little, you actually end up like missing spots more, whereas if you put almost like too much on, not too much, but like if you are very generous with how much you put on, the likelihood of missing a spot is way less likely, but it's also not going to go like way darker suddenly just because you put way more on. So that would be my tip, if I have from a very much tanning amateur, and that is my tip. Oh, actually no, let me quickly do my face though. So face wise then, I'm just going to put this on. So the only thing I would say with the face tan is to try avoid the eyebrows. I know it sounds kind of rando, but basically I find that, so I kind of put a few drops over, I find that if I put it in my eyebrows, like just if it goes into my eyebrows kind of thing, it can be it makes my eyebrows quite warm toned and can make them almost kind of yellowy, not yellowy, but like just warm toned, which is obviously just not really ideal. Much prefer to keep them more on the ashy tones. So literally it's just like a really lovely kind of serum-y feeling. It's got a really nice smell to it, and I literally just rub it in everywhere, and I just use my hands for this, and then I will wash them after. Like I said, I'll just wash them like this to try avoid getting anything in the off like the front of my hand. But yeah, I'll kind of like just go up between them, and like I'll be quite precise, and like it's not a huge deal if you get them in, but I just do personally prefer It feels lovely as well because it's basically just like skincare. And then also bring that down my neck. So obviously I did put the oil up my neck too, but I'll kind of just connect it with this. And then also I will definitely make sure I work it into my hairline, which obviously isn't ideal because it does kind of, it sort of dirties your hair a bit. But I do feel like it's quite important because I have noticed times where I haven't as much, it has very much been kind of obvious. So yeah, like that dries so fast as well because it is a serum. It's just like hyaluronic acid serum. So it feels so nice though after it. And then I'll kind of leave that. Sometimes I'll still put moisturizer on in the evening. Sometimes I actually just leave it just as that. Just so it kind of doesn't like dilute it or anything. Because I find that face tan anyway can be a little more quick to come off anyway. So yeah, that is kind of my tanning routine. I'm going to get down to my back and I'm going to, you know, get butt naked and like finish everywhere else off. But yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow for the color reveal and hopefully it'll be good. Hey guys, it's Wednesday and I'm all like washed and showered and tanned. I am really happy with how this turned out this time. My face, I did the worst job I've ever done on it. Literally every time I've never had any issues with it, and then today I think I've just been sloppy with it because it's been so easy. It's like, I'm not sure if you can madly see, but I have slightly white patches just above my eyebrows, and then I literally just missed the tip of my nose. So luckily, like on your face, because you wash your face so regularly and stuff, it really does fade really fast on the face, which is handy. So then actually I can fix it between now and then. And also obviously I'm going to be wearing makeup, so it's not really that big of a deal. And I know like literally by probably tomorrow it'll be like completely fine. So that is the tan, so you can kind of see it there. I've also done like a full body shot. Like it is quite, I would say it's a very natural looking tan, and I do think my chest is definitely the lightest than everything. Like it just seems to just be lighter. I don't know why, but my chest does. So I actually might do another coat on my chest just because my chest is going to be out for the wedding. So I might do another coat on it and just kind of slightly darken it up a bit. But literally so happy with everything else. Like I'll pull it down slightly and you can kind of see. So there are my legs and my belly. I do find the back of me is always slightly paler for some reason. But yeah, that is how the tan turned out. Like my hands I feel like are fairly good. They're not the best I've done them. And they're slightly, like you can see just between my fingers, it's slightly whiter. I think probably because I used obviously the mitt a lot more yesterday, which I obviously don't always use as much. So then there was probably a lot more on the mitt than usual, if that makes sense. So yeah, but I feel like they're pretty good. Like I don't have any like weird parts on my wrist. Like I have no lines, no like dry ins at any weird places. Obviously there's a little bit, yeah, so you can see there's kind of whiting in between, but again, because we wash our hands so much more than other places of our body, again, that will also fade really fast. But you can see how like even to my wrists and all are just, they're just perfect. Like if I was like this, you would just think I was super tanned. So yeah, so that will fade again as well, same as my face. So that will like go natural really quickly, which is nice. I think it gives a really lovely natural tan, which I really love. It feels really like it actually could be your tan, which I think is always nice, because I feel like when it's like super just like there's no way this could be my tan ever, it just feels like, yeah, extra fake. I feel like even I can't like don't show my armpits, but like even this area is really great. Like it's not like, there's not like gathered-y areas at all there, which is amazing, because that has been my issue. I got like slightly darkening just like there, and like those little things. But yeah, so that is it. I will put in some photos of like some of the before and after, and if I redo my chest, I'll put in a photo here of it, of how it looks with like a second coat on. But yeah guys, I really hope you enjoyed. I really enjoyed doing this, partially because like I'm not an expert at all at this, so it's kind of just fun to like because I've done a lot of research and stuff from other people and stuff, so to kind of compile all those tips to see what actually works really well. And I feel like these tips do work really well. Obviously it's also, I feel, probably a very good product as well, but I do think the tips that I use work really well, and just like preparing your skin really well. Like looking down at myself, I'm like, oh, she looks so tanned. Like I don't feel like I look fake tanned, which I love, because I hate that like fake tan. Like I said at the beginning, I used to be an anti-tanner, so I hate that fake tan look. So yeah, really happy, and guys, thank you for watching and I will see you in the next one. Ciao!